Hi, so I've decided to call this blog Sweetness and Light. So I often wonder, through looking back at my own blog history and all the different YouTube videos that I do, as if it comes across that my entire life is like sweetness and light. I often post blogs when I'm feeling really inspired and creative. So you might be pleased to know, I don't know, maybe not pleased, but it might be relieving to hear. Of course, I also have my own problems, I also have my own difficulties. And I'd put it across to you. All you've got to do is look at the amount of different health practices that I've explored over time, which evidently I do so when I get stuck. It's in life we find things a bit difficult. We go out and explore and try and find things to remedy it. And there's that old saying, isn't there? You teach what you need to learn yourself. So I've gone out probably over most of my adult life exploring all these different things about life dynamics and therapies to try and figure out things work when I've got stuck. And it's been no different lately. For the last 4 or 5 weeks, it's not been so great for me. I've done a lot of travelling around, totally out of the different anchors that I use to help to ground myself and, keep myself comfortable, to be honest. And in the body, or energetically, this comes back to what we think of as being your earth element. So some people with a really robust earth element can travel there and do lots of different things, and they still keep this sense of comfort and solidity. Like the earth is solid, they'll take care of all the basic needs, they're really robust. It just so happens that constitutionally I don't have a very strong earth element. It's not one of my stronger ones. Fire, great, yeah, I can be really animated. When it comes to earth, I struggle a little bit. So it often feels to me when there's a lot of change going on, a bit like there's an earthquake. I tend to feel really unsettled, and it can provoke in me a sense of anxiety, to be honest with you. And that's kind of what I've been encountering a little bit of lately. And life is also, I use yoga and life like metaphorically to relate to each other. So it's a bit like when you go and do yoga, it's good to be stretched and it's good to be opened. But when you get overstretched, it starts to put strain on your body. And unfortunately, I kind of went way past my comfort zone probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And, and then it just started to feel really difficult. Luckily, I had some people around me who were there who could provide some sense of comfort. And there's also some practices that I've got that obviously I can do on my own, yoga and meditation. But, our reality is made up of the inner input, maybe practices, activities we can do on our own, but also the input of things around us. And I do have to say it was a massive relief when I actually came back to the Algarve, where I've been spending a lot of time, got back to some of the regular yoga classes that I go to, just the things that made me feel really comfortable. And it was amazing to see the difference in my state of perception, having got back to some of those anchors, some of those weekly classes. So I walked into my yoga class on Monday night, anxious, stressed. I mean, the other thing I haven't really been doing much acupuncture or much teaching yoga, because they're things which really, I think of it as putting my soul in my body, and when my soul is in my body and I'm doing my thing, I feel really settled. So generally, the more that I work, I don't really think of it as work. I just kind of think of it as it's my creative expression, and the more I do that, the more settled I tend to feel. So anyway, I haven't been doing much of that. Anyway, went back to my yoga class, and I walked in there all gnarly, all anxious. And when I come out, I felt like a totally different person. I hadn't tinkered with anything in the exterior of my life. I hadn't got a new job. I hadn't gone out and bought the latest superfood. I hadn't got a new relationship. I hadn't thought about, I don't know, the next DVD that I want to watch. Whatever. It was all a total internal practice. And because I do a lot of it generally, sometimes I don't notice its power. But when I have such a situation as that, is where I've really fallen out of alignment and going back and doing a practice, in a class that I really like with people I really like, I walked out a totally different person, and it really reminded me of the power of that. So there you go. Maybe that could be inspiring. If you struggle a little bit with change, try and keep some anchors. If you've got internal practices you can do on your own, try and keep doing them, because they get anchored in your body memory. If you've done trikonasana or downward dog or sat and meditated or took a 20-minute walk, you know, regularly for a long period of time, and your body is comfortable with that, when you go and do that, it's sort of in your body memory. Your body's like, okay, this is cool, this feels familiar, this feels good. Or again, if you're in a period of change, try and keep the external anchors that work for you. So maybe there's a class that you regularly go to, you know, just try and keep some of these things solid. Okay, there you go. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.